This video is produced in partnership with CounterPlay Games. Alright, so what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to some more Duelyst. My name is Twit, and thank you guys for checking out today's video. If you guys are interested in this series, make sure you smash the like button down below and let me know that you guys want some more. If you guys would like to play along as well, don't forget to click the link in the description down below, because the link will take you right to the Duelyst website where you guys can download it. You can play it on the web. You can get it for your mobile device very, very soon. It's on the way. It's on the way. But with all that being said, thank you all for checking out this video. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this next solo challenge tier. So we're gonna go ahead and click play here. We're gonna click we're gonna click solo challenges, not practice. So let's go ahead and get right into today's challenge tier, which is going to be the solo challenge tier number 3, the Clarity of Champions. So let's take a look at the very first challenge we've got here. We've got the Vitruvian Ties that bond, and the description of this says use opening gambit and dispel to defeat an enemy general. Now, I said this before in a previous solo challenge tutorial that Dispel was one of those, like, I was personally confused originally with Dispel. I was just like, I didn't really understand how it worked, but I found out later that Dispel actually dispels the space and not just the minion. So even if you dispel the space and then you summon a minion in that space, you don't get your effect because the space itself is dispelled. So there's no effects that can happen in it. So that, it really threw me off. But once you figure that out, you should be alright. You should be good. Should be able to remember that. I know it took me, I will say it took me a little while, but once you start playing with the card a little bit more, or playing with the effect a little bit more, you'll realize, like, okay, yes, now I realize what this does. I don't know, it was a hard thing for me to realize. But anyway, let's take a look at what we got on the field right here. Our opponent, we've got Bone Chiller Barriers, which are wall minions, 0-2 wall minions. She's got 3 of those, not bad. She's got also a Fenrir War Master with a Dying Wish that says summon a 3-2 ghost in, a 3-2 ghost wolf in this space. Now, obviously, we got to take this thing down, so we're gonna figure out exactly how to do that. And then you see the general here with 2-2, only has 2 HP left. So let's see what we're gonna do. Take a look at the cards in our hand. We have a Siphon Energy, dispel an enemy minion, and then we also have Dancing Blades, which this minion here is very, like, in my opinion, it's like remnant of like the Pokemon Honedge, Doublade, and Aegis Slash, which is pretty cool. I really like the card because it's like one massive sword and like 4 dancing. I mean, it's Dancing Blades. I think it's really cool. This is one of the cooler cards in my opinion. But let's take a look at what we got to do. So obviously we have to dispel a minion, right? Well, the only minion with an effect right now is this Fenrir War Master, and we don't want there to be another minion in his space because we have to get to the general to kill it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and dispel that dispel that space right there. So no more of that. Then we're gonna take our Dancing Blades here, drop it right in front of us, deal 3 damage. That way, now you don't get the Ghost Wolf. And then we're gonna walk right past our Dancing Blades, do damage to their general just like that, and take the win. Perfect. Perfect. Victory for us. Not bad at all, not bad at all. And we get 5 gold, not bad at all either. Alright, so next up we have the second challenge here, Abyssian, Alluring Demise. And the description of this says, use enemy displacement to defeat the Vitruvian general in 1 turn. So let's go ahead and click on it and take a look at what we gotta do today. Alright, so let's go ahead and start this challenge here. We've got a lot of stuff on the field right now, So of course, like always, we gotta double check, see what exactly is here. We got a Komodo Charger in the back here, not bad at all. We have a Sand Howler, cannot be targeted by enemy spells. Okay. We have a Blast Pyromancer minion, not bad. And then we have a Sand Howler, another Sand Howler Dervish minion. And then of course, their general is there as well. Take a look at our general here, and then the cards in our hand. We have a Demonic Lure. Deal 1 damage to an enemy minion and teleport it into any space on the battlefield. Pretty good. Next up, we have Grasp of Agony. Choose an enemy minion. When it dies, deal 3 damage to nearby enemy minions and generals. Okay, so off the bat, I know exactly what we're going to do, but I'm going to give you guys just a sec to sort of analyze the field, analyze what we've got here, and then we're going to make our moves. So you guys see we have the Komodo Charger over here. Now you might just be wondering, why is that? Oh, there's something in my face. You guys might be wondering, why in the world is this all the way over here that doesn't seem like it'd be useful at all? Well, guess what? It is going to be very, very useful, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Demonic Lure. We're going to whip him all the way over here. It's going to take that 1 damage. That is perfectly fine. Then next up, we're going to Grasp of Agony, that same minion right there. And as it said, you saw the card, it said does 3 damage to all enemy minions and generals and like around it. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna walk up right into its face, and then we're gonna swipe just like that to take it down, and now that it dies, it's gonna deal damage to everybody and take it down. Pretty interesting, but I know that that challenge is one of the more complicated ones because you're just like looking at like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. And since those minions, those Zervishes can't be targeted by can't be targeted by spells, you're like, what in the world am I supposed to do? So luckily I'm here to show you guys that that's what the series is for, because I know I was confused originally. I know I was confused, so I know how complicated it can be sometimes, especially when you're new to the game and you're just trying to figure out how everything works. Alright, so for the next solo challenge tier here in the Clarity of Champions, we're going to be taking on the Vanar behind enemy lines. Now this is going to be one of the more fun solo challenges because these effects on these cards are actually really cool, really fun to play with, and you guys will see. I know that we sort of spoken about one of these effects in the past, but we have never spoken about the other effect or done this in the solo challenges, if memory serves me right. So what we're going to go ahead and do is click on this because it says use position swapping and infiltrate to defeat the enemy general. I am so excited to do this one because this one is fun. This is fun. The effects on these cards are really cool. So, not too much is happening on the field, but what we're going to do anyway is take a look. We have the enemy general here, 14 HP, pretty nice. Then we have, then the opponent also has a Fire Blazer provoke minion here. And then we have one of the cooler cards in this entire game, the Frosthorn Rhino, because this minion here has celerity, which as you guys see on the screen, celerity means this minion can attack 2 times every turn. That is awesome. And for a 5-mana minion with 6/5, that is pretty great. That's pretty great. But not only does it have celerity, but it also has infiltrate, which means when it's on the opposite side of the field where the opponent started on their side, their half of the board, you can attack, or you have +1 attack. Yeah, so you know, obviously you see we have 6 attack right now. So if we're on the other side of the field, that means we have 7 attack. That means we can attack twice. That's 14 damage. The enemy general only has 14 HP. So the question is, how do we get this guy all the way over here? Let's take a look at our hand. First up, we have a Swamp Entangler provoke minion, which is pretty cool. Then we have a Heart Sister, which opening gambit means it can switch positions with any other minion. Now, you might just be like, okay, I'm gonna throw this right now. I'm gonna throw this down wherever I want. I'm gonna throw it down over here and then switch positions. Unfortunately, you can't do that because you see these are the only spaces we can summon a minion right now. So what we're gonna do instead, we have to make some sneaky plays here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our general and walk it up into the provoke Fire Blazer's face. Then we're gonna take our Swamp Entangler. See, now that we have more space we can summon now. This is how we use our summoning of minions to move across the board, which is really cool. We're gonna drop our Swamp Entangler right here, which gives us more space around here to summon minions, which is pretty nice. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and drop this guy right here. Swap positions with our Frosthorn Rhino, and now our Frosthorn Rhino has free range to walk up, +1 attack with the infiltrate boost. We're gonna attack 1 time, brings him down to 7, and we're gonna attack 1 more time for the win. Again, this is one of the cooler card effects in this game, and Frosthorn Rhino is an awesome celerity plus infiltrate. It does a lot of damage. It's really cool. The fact that you can attack twice and then you have your Heart Sister to swap positions, it's just fun. You have to make some sneaky deaky plays, but it really works out, and it can catch your opponent pretty off guard pretty often too. It's pretty nice. All right, so next up on our challenge tier list here, we have the Lionar Honor the Fallen, not of the Fallen, but Honor the Fallen. Says use self-damage and unit sacrifice to defeat the enemy general. Self-damage and unit sacrifice. Sounds interesting. I'm excited. Let's get right on into it. So as we see here, the Lionar deck is this is a pretty good deck. It's got these minions right here, just really cool. These Silverguard Knight provoke minions are really nice. So let's take a look at what we got on the field, because there's a lot of big stuff on the field right here for the enemy general. For the enemy general here, for our opponent, I should say. So we've got not 1, not 2, but 3 Phalanxnar minions. I tried to say that in the last one. Phalanxar. Maybe it's Phalanxar. I'm gonna say that, Phalanxar, because I kept saying Phalanxnar. something like Phalanzar. I'm gonna call him Phalanzar. We have 3 Phalanzar minions with the opponent general or enemy general as well. Then over on our side we have our Silverguard Provoke and Zeal minion, which again gains +2 attack anytime it is near our general. And then we've got our general sitting here right here. We only have 2 HP though. There's a lot of minions on this field that make him very, very scary. So we got to figure out how to take them down. Take a look at the cards in our hand. We have destroy an enemy, destroy an enemy minion, restore that minion's health to its general. Now that is the Martyrdom spell card. Then we also have deal 2 damage to all minions and generals. And now this does not just mean enemy minions. This also hits your minions and your general as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Provoked Silverguard Knight here. We're gonna walk him up into the face of Vath the Immortal here. And we're gonna go ahead and do some damage. We're gonna bring him down to 4 HP here. Not too bad, not too bad. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Martyrdom here. We're gonna Martyrdom our Silverguard Knight because we need that HP. We need that HP to survive. Staying alive, because as you see, he only has 2 attack with 4 HP. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk our general right up in his face. We're gonna attack the enemy general here, bringing him down to 2 HP. Then we're gonna drop our Tempest, deal 2 damage. That means that we're gonna live with 1. It's gonna take his general and all 3 of his minions out, which it actually didn't do because we beat him, but it was gonna take all 3 of his minions out and his general, and we lived at 1 HP. So the Martyrdom Tempest combo is very, very clutch, comes in handy. You gotta make sure you know when to use it and use it correctly, because sometimes you can use it like towards the beginning of the game when you still have a lot of HP. Sometimes it might be worth holding on to the very end so you can do stuff just like that. So again, not the hardest, but they are definitely getting a lot more complex and a lot more complicated as we go along through these solo challenges, and they definitely will be helping you guys. So make sure you figure out how to do them and you do them all. I promise you right now, make sure you do them all because they are very, very helpful. So let's go ahead and move on. For our 5th and final solo challenge here in the Clarity of Champions, we've got Songhai, Path of the Mistwalkers. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm excited to do this. Let's just get right into it. This deck is actually really, really fun to play as well, and as you guys see, the info or all the stuff we need to know. Use spell chaining to defeat the Vanguard general in 1 turn. Now spell chaining is another one of those things like in the last one that we did where we use our minions to summon and summon and summon so that we can move ourselves across the board. Instead of doing that, we're actually going to use spell cards this time to move ourselves across the board. So let's take a look what we got on the field. So as you see, the enemy general here, she's got Bone Chiller Barrier, she's got Blazing Spines, she's got two Blazing Spines, 3 Bone Chill Barriers here. So she's got walls. We cannot get around her walls. We can't walk anywhere. We can't really do much. So we're gonna go ahead and let's take a look at all the cool stuff we have in our hand. First up, we have an Inner Focus, which if you guys remember, and I believe it was probably the first tutorial that we did, was the Inner Focus spell card, which means you can reactivate an exhausted friendly minion with 3 or less attack. Very, very useful, very, very handy. Next up, we have a Mist Dragon Seal. Give a friendly minion +1 attack and +1 HP and teleport it to any space on the battlefield. Again, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna manipulate our minions and ourselves to get across to the other side of the battlefield and take the general down. Next up, we have a Saber Spine Seal. Give a minion or general +3 attack this turn. Very, very nice. And then last but not least, we got this big bad boy, the Gorehorn here, with the Backstab, which means this minion gains +1 attack and +1 HP when attacking from behind, which is pretty cool. So what we gotta do is we gotta go ahead. Obviously, we can't teleport ourselves because this the Mist Dragon Seal doesn't teleport generals, so we have to have the minion on the field to teleport. Obviously, it has 3 or less attack, so we're gonna go ahead and drop it down right there. Next up, we're gonna re-exhaust this thing, or unexhaust this thing here, because now we can move. Now we're free to move. That's the fun part. We're free to move. Now we can attack. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and take our Mist Dragon Seal here, and then we're going to drop it right on here. Again, I'm gonna read it to you. Give a friendly minion 1/1 and teleport it anywhere on the battlefield. So we're gonna go ahead and take this, and again, because we know that Backstab means that we get to attack twice from behind, we're gonna go ahead and drop this Gorehorn right behind the enemy general here. Now it has +1 attack and +1 defense. Excuse me, +1 HP, I should say. And then, last but not least, we're gonna follow it up with a Saber Spine Seal here, which gives an enemy minion or general, but in this case, we're gonna be using on the minion +3 attack. We're gonna drop it right there. So now we're looking at a nice and powerful 7 attack, and what we're gonna do is attack just like this, because we do gain +1 attack when Backstab is active. looking pretty good. And just like that, that is going to wrap up this solo challenge to you here. Not bad at all. If you guys are enjoying this series, don't forget to smash the like button down below. If you guys want to play Duelyst as well, play along in Duelyst and add me as well. Be sure to add me on Duelyst. My summoner name is Hi, I'm Twit. If you guys would like to game with me, get it in the description, man. Like I said earlier in this video, or the beginning of this video, it will be on mobile very soon, so be looking out for that. You guys don't have to download it and play it on your actual computer, and it doesn't take a lot to play. You don't have to have a god tier PC to play this game, because it's just card collecting, but it also looks really good and it runs really well. So you guys can play it on web, Google Chrome, Firefox, wherever you are, however you want to play it. You don't have to download the game, but if you want to download the client as well, there are some pretty cool features just for having the client, just because it is a separate client. You don't have to have your Google Chrome open, which Chrome, you guys know, runs your CPU pretty high. So I would suggest getting the actual client if you can, but if not, by all means, look out for it when it comes out on mobile. I am excited for it to come out on mobile. I'm gonna be on it all the time. You guys know, or maybe you don't know, I play mobile games quite a lot, and when this game comes out on mobile, you best believe I'm gonna be on this game. So make sure you guys add me up. We can play sometime by all means. But if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, like I said, and we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, it's been Twit, and I'm out. Peace!